Joey, the Ferris Bulldogs held their final practice here in Bid Rapids before their bid national championship game, as they will face Valdosta State in the Division II National Championship this Saturday in McKinney, Texas. The Bulldogs were very excited to get ready as they continue their preparation for their biggest game of the season.
It's exciting. Just fortunate enough to be in this position. Several months ago we had lost in the championship game. Not many people can say they get to get back to that spot.
These guys are just battlers. They're fighters, and so regardless of the outcome, this has been just a magical ride. We're here in Big Rapids on December 15th. We started practice somewhere like around August 7th. So it is one long season, but I'm proud of how gritty our guys have been.
We will have continued coverage from Ferris State as Tyler Driesinger and I will be flying out to Texas tomorrow to bring you more coverage from Ferris State heading into this national championship. In Bid Rapids, Matthew Doyle, 9 and 10 News. Hey, David and Chelsea, it seems about right that after a thrilling 2018 national championship game between Ferris State and Valdosta State, we get that exact same matchup in this year's championship game. Now, Ferris State was on the losing end of that game by just 2 points in 2018, and they're hoping to win their first championship game this year. Head coach Tony Anise said that he sees some similarities with this Valdosta team to the 2018 team, and even though it's a new head coach, he has some familiarity with him as well.
They're very athletic, and so it's going to be a challenge. We have a lot of respect for them. Actually, their coach, Gary Goff, I've coached against 3 times, and always liked him, always admired the way he's coached.
And by the way, Anise has won all 3 of those matchups against Goff. He also reached a career milestone in their win last week in their national semifinal game. 9 and 10's Tyler Driesinger will have more on that when he joins us tonight on 9 and 10 News at 6. Live in McKinney, Matthew Doyle, 9 and 10 News.
As the #1 team in the country, Ferris State understands that there aren't many people who view them as any sort of lovable underdog story, and certainly as the top dogs, there's a lot of pressure in that, but head coach Tony Anise says this team has dealt with pressure all season long. Going back to week 1, the Bulldogs' first game of the season came with the pressure to break the record for consecutive regular season wins week by week. It's built from there, and while there are unique pressures to playing in a national championship game, Anise says he doesn't think it will faze the team on Saturday.
We've experienced pressure all year, and our guys have just done great. And so, I think that, we will be locked in and just go out and play another game of football. And when it all's done, the season ends, which is a great thing because you always want to be together as long as you can be, and that's what we've done.
The win over Shepherd in the national semifinals last week was Tony Anise's 100th with the Ferris State Bulldogs. On Saturday, he'll look to add Division II national champion to his ever-growing list of accomplishments with the Bulldogs. Reporting live in McKinney, Texas, Tyler Driesinger, 9 and 10 News.
Joey, Steve Brocklebank has been the Ferris State athletic director since October, and he loves getting the opportunity to see Ferris State out here in McKinney, Texas for the upcoming national championship game just 2 months after he started. The Bulldogs will take on Valdosta State in the Division II championship for the second time in 3 seasons. If Ferris State can take home a title, it will wrap up a great fall sports season at Ferris State, and their AD is happy to see his student athletes getting this opportunity.
It's fantastic, but I think, more importantly, I think it's fantastic for our young people, our student athletes. These are experiences and memories that they'll carry with them for a lifetime. And so I'm just thrilled for them. I'm thrilled for our coaches who have worked so hard to get our program to this point. And I'm thrilled for Ferris State University. I mean, this is important. This is important for our university, and it's something that we can all rally around and celebrate.
We'll see if the Bulldogs can add to that experience with a national title on Saturday. We'll have more on Ferris State's first full day here in McKinney, Texas, when you join us tonight on 9 and 10 News at 11 and online at mysportsnow.com. Live in McKinney, Texas, Matthew Doyle, 9 and 10 News. Ferris State held practice here in McKinney, Texas for the first time in preparation for their national championship game on Saturday. It'll be a rematch of the 2018 national championship against Valdosta State. And Tyler, we had a chance to go to their practice, talk to them beforehand. What were the impressions that you got from the Bulldogs after talking with them today?
Well, first off, there's a lot of holdovers from the 2018 to this team, both on the roster and in the coaching staff. One of the people that we spoke to is Travis Russell, who was a player on the 2018 team and is now an assistant coach. And he says that having been here before, there's just a different feel.
This is a business trip. They're here to win. They're not worried about, what they have accomplished or the fact that both my freshman year roommates are still playing on this team, and their record at Ferris State is 74-7. Instead of looking back on that, they came down here to get to work.
Travis liking what he saw from this Ferris State football team, and head coach Tony Anise also has some great things to say about this team.
I'm feeling better about this crew than I felt in a long time because they've just conducted business so effectively. We haven't had off the field issues. We haven't had people that weren't given their 111 to help the team, and so I'm very proud of the way they've conducted business, and hopefully Saturday night it's a culmination of all the greatness that they've done this whole year.
Be sure to join us tomorrow right here on 9 and 10 News for more coverage from the Ferris State football team as we both caught up with some local players getting ready for this national championship. In McKinney, Texas, Matthew Doyle and Tyler Driesinga, 9 and 10 News.
Well, one look at the high school stadium behind me tells you we are a long way from Onekama. Caleb Wisniewski has represented the Portagers for 6 years on this Ferris State team, bringing small-town football to a pretty big stage. Wisniewski was a member of the 2018 team that made it to the national title game, so he's played in this stadium before. Coming from a small school like Onekama has given him an appreciation of how special this opportunity really is, but he admits he still has a hard time imagining playing high school ball on this field.
No, I graduated with 45 kids, so it's tough to see these schools like even the McKinney ISD Stadium is something special, so I'm pumped. I've never been this pumped before in my life. I was just very excited, so ready to rep for the Onekama kids back home.
Wisniewski isn't the only representation of small-town northern Michigan on this Ferris State team. Tune in tonight at 4 and 6 to hear the unique story of Brandon Childress of Baldwin and his journey to the Ferris State Bulldog program. Reporting live in McKinney, Texas, Tyler Driesinga, 9 and 10 News.
Brandon Childress was an impressive athlete at Baldwin High School in both football and basketball, and he ultimately chose to continue playing football at Central Michigan. But his journey goes well beyond Mount Pleasant as he prepares for this week's Division II National Championship.
I tell the guys here that all the time, like if you asked me just 2 years ago if I'd be playing football again, I'd be like, you're crazy.
After injuries ended his football career at CMU, Brandon Childress had accepted never playing football again.
I went out to Hawaii. My brother's in the military. He was out there, stationed out there. I went out there, worked with Boys and Girls Club as their